Hi, welcome everyone. I was finally so excited today because it was my last day of work and I thought I had 2 months off, but I went and got another 3 weeks of contract. But I have 10 days off and I will be doing some amazing videos. Look at the surface, the hanger structures on the right there, the famous hanger structures. I want you to guys to look at this. And someone commented in the community about tubes. It's the term they use for these tunnel-like structures that we're seeing here. And I'm going to tell you guys, if there was an area on the moon where there would be some growth, if we're talking inside a closed atmosphere, would it not resemble these tubes or tunnels or straight symmetrical lines going by? It doesn't mean the structures are entirely straight. So when we see these lines, we know that the base or platform of the objects or areas are flat and rectangular and long, like tunnels. But when we zoom in, we'll often find many geometrical shapes on top of these. Last time I saw someone post a triangle like this that you see in the top right, this black triangle with the teeth marks at the back, was Secure Team 10. Tyler posted a craft, whether it be a spy craft, a secret mission craft. He posted something that was very similar to that on the surface, and I'm backing him up on it because there are triangles on the surface. That was a beautiful one. I want to take a moment to talk about the purple and greens and yellows in abundance that we can see on the surface. Yes, we've concluded that they could be gases. It could be the reflection of the atmosphere here from Earth. I don't think so because the color does seem to be on the surface, very close to the surface, and most often the structures themselves have these particular colors. I've been looking up the rocks and minerals that are here on the surface of Earth. This was my first love. I love rocks and I love minerals. Knew nothing about them, just like the colors. But there are some particular rocks and or minerals on the earth, guys, that are very magical, meaning they're odd shaped, straight symmetrical and or geometrical shapes also. We often say that, for example, take fluorite, Fluorite, fluorite. Okay, forget rubies, guys, garnets, sapphires. Fluorite may be the world's most colorful mineral, guys. It's purple in color. Because of the enormous range of brilliant and even iridescent colors it displays, the funny thing is, pure fluorite crystals are transparent. A crystal's color is dictated by the way light interacts with the chemicals in it, and by how these are bounded in an orderly structure or lattice. Any impurities that work their way into fluorite's lattice can alter its apparent color. For example, manganese ions turn it orange. Structural defects with the lattice, known as color centers, have a similar effect. Fluorite's hallmark deep purple hue is the result of a small number of fluoride ions being permanently forced out of their lattice positions by I gotta say this right, by irradiation or heating. When they move, an electron is left behind in each hole. When light hits the crystal, it is absorbed and re-emitted by these electrons, producing the color we see from fluorite. Some fluorite specimens, even bands of different colors. So why am I talking about this? Because on the surface of the moon, we're seeing different colors, and there are many colorful rocks here on Earth. I can only imagine what there is on the moon. And all this color on the surface, if, for example, the entire surface was mineralized, we would not be able to get a shot of the surface in color unless post-processed, like I'm doing, and we're getting a lot of jewel-like minerals back. Another one, guys, here on Earth, Iceland spar. The Icelandic sagas of the 10th century record the details of Viking voyages. They describe a mysterious sunstone with magnificent shapes, which Scandinavian seafarers used to locate the sun in the sky and navigate on cloudy days. It's like a lens. It's a very square window-like salt cube or crystal. The Iceland spar. That's an amazing one to look up. When you look on the surface of the moon, it also looks like we're looking at quartz, a giant monuments and or monolithic statues of white or pink quartz. You look these minerals up, and why am I looking them up? Because when you look at the minerals, it just looks like you're looking at the surface of the moon. So I thought it was interesting to look up the minerals. And aside from that, everything we're seeing on the surface, the bridges, the structures, the light sources, we know that ejecta cannot run for thousands of miles in unison and then break up completely left and veer left and then right to remaining on track. We see lights, and the lights have magnificent lines that go across the moon, up and down in every possible angle, which was declared being ejecta. Perfect story. So if you declare that being ejecta, right off the bat, you have to say it's a meteorite that hit. And then you have to come up with a plan that why meteorites hit the moon and not the Earth as much, or this bogus theory that they have that the moon is actually the remnants of the meteorite that hit Earth. Oh gosh. Okay, could be though. I wouldn't rule it out, no. But I wouldn't remain stuck on that idea. Thinking out of the box because we're stuck on our principles. We're stuck on trends. We're trendy people. We're a trendy species. The neighbor does something, we'll do it too. Neighbor buys something, we're going to buy the same product, but a different color. It's funny when you look at the way people, you'll see one brand new hose on someone's lawn. Oh, wow, you got a nice hose. Is it ever long? Yeah, well, it's long and go all around the yard. Boom, 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 boom. Yard after yard, everyone will buy the same hose. So the government caught on to that real quick. And without actually putting handcuffs on us and manipulating us, they're sort of mind controlling us and or brainwashing us in different ways, in various ways, both through media, especially CNN. Absolutely ridiculous. That's the only association and or any company that I've ever put down online, but everyone knows it's fake. Trump said so. So we're seeing all these possibilities of how the moon, the surface could be. And we're not thinking out of the box. We're stuck on these trends, you know? That's why I really appreciate someone that throws something out there and is really, really, really out of the box and are different because it gives us ideas, you know, to be able to find out what the heck's going on up there. We have little information here on Earth, on surface, but there's ways to find the information. You can find people, authentic scientists, most of them, they're all authentic. But when you find these agencies that are ruling the world and the ones that when somebody talks about science, who talks about it? It's always NASA. Why don't we see even Europe often talking about it? It's almost always the United States, NASA, talking about something. You know, a Swedish guy found something. Well, he goes to NASA so that NASA can tell the world that the Swedish guy found something after he tells the Swedish guy to shut up. You know, don't take us for fools. Most people on Earth, I'm positive, know that this is true. What's going on, all this crap. But we got to open our eyes, you know, and looking at the photosynthesis on the surface, different minerals and our rocks, transparent rocks, light sources, energy sources, wavelengths. At one point, we are going to come to a closer conclusion, and we're going to get there together without the help of any government and or professional association or secret association. Okay? Nobody owns the universe. We do. We all do. And together we can find out what's out there. Thanks for the support, everyone. Check out the link in the description for the Big Mama telescope that we're going to get ourselves. We're going to get something big enough for us to um, professionally zoom into the surface and get high quality footage of the moon. Now, when I say now, you'll see on the left center of the screen coming into view, focus of the screen in the left center from the bar. It'll go to the center. Look at this, three lights. Nice. Okay, are you ready? Look at all the light sources beside one, two, one beside the other. Keep looking. One, two, three, four, five, six. It goes downwards, spiraling downwards. These light sources are fusioning right now as we're looking at it live, and it's activity. These lights are billowing, they're moving. They're not just reflecting, they are billowing. And don't forget the reflections because they are not post-processed. We're not Our eyes are not able to see all the color on the surface of the moon. And there's just too much color on the surface of the moon for our eyes. Now, Copernicus crater, what do you think of this in X-ray? Do you understand that all the spider web-like strands that are very silky looking on the surface of the moon are just patches of very geometrical and colorful structures? These structures have odd shapes, symmetrical shapes, and look at them inside of the lines, colors. It's colorful surface that we're seeing that is showing us these white silky strands, and on top of it, they're illuminated, so the silk looks even whiter for our eyes. But seen in X-ray and or changing the wavelength of the photo and the spectrum of the color, voila. Guys, that's it. The housing. It's in these silk spiderweb-like lines. This is where they have their structures. We see white lines. It's cities of structures, glass structures maybe, crystal structures of emanating different lights. Maybe that's how they radiate the heat. There's something about this. I'm onto something. Look at all the colorful structures. These structures are colorful. This is why we're seeing around Tycho crater, Copernicus, all these white lines that you see here inside of the square. And in reality, these lines that you're seeing all around Copernicus crater, underneath Aristarchus crater, are lines leading up all the way up to here to Aristarchus crater that are colorful structures. And our eyes are seeing this white because it is too colorful, like the crater itself. Do you understand on the surface of the moon, this is what we are looking at, by the way? Beautiful. See what's there? See the levels? See the possibilities? Look how they build to save room. Look at this, like a tornado of layers of cities, all intertwined, but yet they each have their own space and area and surface, all bundled up together. And this can go down for many thousands of kilometers. These are structures in X-ray that you can clearly see, but they are so bright. See, I've taken some of the light down, and you can see the contouring. They are symmetrical. Guys, these are buildings. It's a real joke, guys. The telescope is not showing us the color, right? Obviously, because we're on the moon. But when you post-process the surface of the moon, you see that all this area that is bright, it's just very colorful and illuminatedly colorful, meaning you have bright light from the surface illuminating back, but in reality, it's the colors that are lit up. You have a spectrum of a rainbow that you just basically can't see the surface. Now look at this Proclus crater. Goes down to two other lights here, continues down pipe, looks like it goes downwards to other structures. These are all structures and they're very colorful. And I'm going to show you Proclus crater and X-ray, this crater right here, right at the bottom of Merecrisium, and look at the two spots in Merecrisium. There are also paths going into that. It doesn't make any sense that people are not seeing it. Some are, but not enough. Look in X-ray. There's nothing else I can say. There are colorful, illuminated structures. The ray system are structures. There is no ray system or ray systems. They're paths. In the center, Proclus crater, you have an energy source. You have three, four, five, six lines leaving them. And along the lines, the structures were built and are connected to this massive line and are also illuminated. So as much as they build inside of these lines, we will never know it, nor will we ever see a change on the surface. You would think the changes would happen inside the moon on the inner surface layers. For all we know, they could be building UFOs on the surface of the moon. There could be foundries there. It could be a way that they are melting down this product or natural product that keeps it low. Is
A
gray as
bright light
atmosphere
to it.
disturbance,
Maybe the
yes.
crafts are bright.
Clouds, possibly. No
Notice the
proof, but
link
look, the surface
between,
is green, my
no,
friends. We have
lights on the
greenery on the
moon,
surface. We have
lights in the
browns,
sky.
blues, purples, more colors than we're seeing here on Earth. Beautiful crater here. Look at the center of it. An object in the center, like a peak if you want, and the trail that goes out to the outwards of the crater. Other crater marks inside this crater. We can actually see three supposed crater marks. They're not crater marks. Beautiful surprise here. My friends, we are on the edge of Archimedes crater in the supposed ejecta. We are going to see, this is a structure that's on the edge, like a towering structure that's on the edge. We are going to see a tunnel, guys, a massive installation that's basically near impossible to see, so small and hidden from where we are here on Earth to be able, our vantage point is not really accessible and or close. It's mesmerizing. This is why we're seeing the ejecta very bright, by the way, because it is filled with these layers of colors. And watch this there. Manipulated roads, various colors. Now wait till you see this. Boom. Massive insulation with a tunnel structure underneath, more than one. The edge completely manipulated here. You can very, very well see it. This is just a beautiful shot of an installation on the side of Archimedes crater. They're mining up there. They're doing something. That's for damn sure. These are the channel contributors, the force. Guys, if there's people up there that are like us, workers, and have an elite ruler also, I know that not being allowed to use lasers in the sky is a smart idea because it's dangerous for planes, but it's an international, worldwide law that we're not allowed shooting lights up into the sky. Why? We communicate with the other side, and I think that's what we have to do. In essence, show ourselves. People on the moon, imagine if everyone at the same time shined a light on Merimbrium. Wow, we'd get a light response back.